conversation with these sisters recently. You probably know if you're watching, and we were actually discussing the rulings on abayas and jilbabs. And I actually said that it was actually the hardest for me. So the niqab wasn't that hard, and the hijab wasn't actually hard for me. It was actually the abaya, the jilbab, that was the hardest for me.
Really?
And yeah, really. And that's what I mean. That's the usual, expression that I get back, because people are surprised thinking jilbab shouldn't be that hard. Surely the niqab would be harder.
Yeah, the niqab or the hijab.
Exactly. So the sister that was, she was actually washing, and she looked at me. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I feel the same." She also wears niqab and the hijab and abaya, and she says she also feels the same, and that she thought she was the only one. And I said, no, definitely, it was the hardest for me. So the sister that I was talking to, she was contemplating into wearing abaya, and she knows she needs to wear it, and she wants to start wearing it, but she's finding it really difficult now. So we thought we'll have a little chit chat. So I thought, let me do a video about our discussion, inshallah.
How did you actually start wearing it, like the jilbab?
Okay, so initially I wore my hijab, and I wore like modest dresses and skirts and stuff, and I knew deep down that it might be modest as it is, but it's not the hukum, it's not the jilbab and abaya that Allah talks about in the Quran. So I had this, like, I was struggling, I was working, and I was like, I don't know, I just didn't know how to start, to be honest, but I knew I had to. So what happened is I went to Umrah that year with my mum, dad and my sisters, my first Umrah, and this was in 2011, I think. 2011? Yeah. And then basically I wore the abaya there, and I thought, you know what, if I can wear abaya in 40 degrees heat, and I'm going up and down those stairs.
Exactly, it was so hot.
It was boiling hot, and I thought, if I can do it over there, what excuse do I have over here? You know, obviously it was more motivating because over there everyone wore it, so it was the norm. So if I didn't wear it, I would look like the alien. You know, so obviously I didn't understand the hukum as such. It was more like a motivating thing that after Umrah I will wear it. So alhamdulillah, I did wear the abaya as soon as I came back. I did get a few comments and stuff like that from my work colleagues, and they were looking and they actually touched the jilbab like this and like, "You wearing this from now on?" And I said, yeah, of course I should have been wearing that from day one, to be honest. But I was actually worried about those kind of comments, and I overcame it. So alhamdulillah, that's when I started wearing it. People ask, why do they have to wear the abaya if they're wearing long dresses, long skirts, etc.? Because they wear the hijab. In fact, they've been wearing hijab way before I did, you know? But the thing is, hijab and abaya come together. It's one. It's not two separate things. It's like salah. You can't pray salah without wudu. Wudu and salah comes together in order to fulfill that fard. So the hijab, which is the khimar, the headscarf, the headgear, and the abaya, which is the body covering, it has to come together. Yeah, it has to come, it comes together. There's no separation of it. It's when you start separating it, then you'll have issues in terms of how to wear it, what's modest, what's not. Do you see? So then you're starting to choose yourself what's modest, what's going to be acceptable next to men, what's going to be acceptable in a wedding. You're constantly fighting in your head. The truth is the hijab and the abaya comes together.
How did you feel when you first had to wear it though? Like, obviously you didn't accept it at first. How did that make you feel?
I think it wasn't about accepting, it was about understanding why I need to wear it, okay? So I'm praying salah 5 times a day now. I'm wearing a hijab. I'm trying my best to strive, because as you can imagine, being a practicing Muslim, even in the West, in the UK, it's actually really hard. You're right in the heart of capitalism, where things are just, you know, constantly moving. You're in the heart of the fashion industry, the cosmetics industry, and all of this goes totally against it. So it was the hardest, I'll be honest with you, it was the hardest. But at the end of the day, it's not about how I feel, you know, it's like salah sometimes you feel good to pray, sometimes you don't. Some fajrs you're really struggling, it's cold and freezing, like now it's December. So once you do the fard and you take it on, Allah makes it easy.
Okay, how do you feel now when you wear it? How do you feel like you can't go out without it?
Oh no, definitely, I can't go out without it, definitely. I actually have nightmares sometimes, random nightmares, you know, that, oh no, I can't find my jilbab and I need to go out and I'm looking for it, but I wouldn't step out without it. So alhamdulillah, that's the feeling that I know, I hope I have, and it stays that way. So no, I definitely can't live without my jilbab.
Okay, give me 3 words that about your jilbab, that you know you wear it now. How does it make you feel?
Liberated. I'm definitely feel liberated in it. It goes against all society's norms, and I reject all sorts of things that tells me how I should look every day. So that's that. Liberated is one, definitely. Okay, so I feel obedient because Allah has told me how to dress, you know, so I don't feel that guilt inside me, which I always did when I wore the hijab and just modest clothing. So I feel obedient and also comfortable. Come on, I can wear anything. I can wear my joggers, leggings, PJs, you know, and it's the best thing because you don't have to worry. So outer garment, you wear it and you go out. Oh, that's my nephew. Gotta go and grab him. So I just grabbed my baby nephew Musa. He was crying. So yeah, he's just sitting with me now. I love him. Anyway, so the jilbab was the hardest because, to be honest, all I kept on thinking about is what are people gonna say, what are people gonna think. But the truth is, that's exactly the same ideas that you have when you're dressing in, you know, non-jilbab clothes. So for example, shirt, dresses, jeans. You're constantly thinking about what people are gonna say and what they think and what they like and what they don't. So I had the wrong mentality when I actually started wearing the jilbab. But now that I've worn it, I've realised that this is the Islamic dress code for the public setting to outside. Yeah, and this is one of the best things I've ever done, and I suggest everybody to read upon it, inshallah, and understand the bookings of it. Yeah. So I have another video as well which I will be releasing about the jilbab, the conditions of the jilbab, how to wear it, how not to wear it, inshallah. So please do log into that. But yeah, it's one of the best things that I've done, and I don't care what people think and how they think. And there are some people who explain it as you know, a bag, a black bin liner or a bag, and it doesn't have to be black, but the fact that you're saying that is quite sad and it's quite shallow because you have no idea what it's about, you know, subhanallah. So it's one of the best things that I've worn. Alhamdulillah, may Allah keep us protected always and guide the ummah further.